When we do these stories of love and loss, it makes me appreciate people like Gary Williams. You're celebrating an anniversary tonight, aren't you? What year?
Oh, we've been together for 27 years.
27 years. Online dating? No?
Thank God. Right?
Get in line dating.
Boise face-to-face.
Nice. Boise, see, choose life. They chose life 27 years ago, and now they're still together in life. That's beautiful. Congratulations to the Williamses. I was raised Catholic. I was an altar boy. Like a real serious altar boy. I ran the altar boys. That's how Catholic I was. By the time I was about 17, I realized that one religion would never kind of satisfy all the questions in my mind, and started looking into a lot of different things and never chose one religion. But one thing that stuck out in Buddhism was its basic tenet of its understanding of suffering, and my understanding that I was going to suffer a lot in life. This next piece is kind of an experimental piece. It's a little bit of a narrative and a little bit of a editorial. And it's on the concept of suffering and how life is suffering, and it's called Suffer.
Appropriately named.
The day after she lost him, it rained. She could not have suffered the loss otherwise. Her sullen core and heavy limbs were too cold to be contrasted by the sun's heat. The wet gray morning acclimated her for the months of dark sorrow that would lie ahead. Those lines resonate deeply for me because I believe that although suffering happens in the mind, it's through our body we receive it. Our bodies absorb our environment the way our lungs breathe air, so that an unhealthy atmosphere is the precursor to despair. Every fiber of your body down to the bone, every component of your cells down to the DNA absorbs the natural world around you and then reacts. A nuclear fusion forming a mental vision, an impression we then communicate with words or tears or grunt or groan. It's in the quiet moments of my day I can gauge whether I'm happy. When my soul bends toward depression or anxiety, darkness or light, finding where I rest in the in-between. We're a peculiar species that way. To start knowing how we feel sometimes we need to stop feeling. We need to remove the stimuli we place in our lives, and they can be wonderful stimuli. The morning caffeine. The nighttime dream. You see, with all the sights and sounds and sensations our bodies get bombarded with during a day, your brain needs time to take it all in and then get away to process. Our bodies don't need sleep because our muscles feel sleepy. A long hot tub soak or a decadent massage can take that kind of fatigue away. Our bodies shut down so our mind can wake up. It's in our dreams that our brains are most active. We combine real thoughts in unreal ways and tell stories untold. Our imaginations open a door to a store so stocked with inventory that if we just stopped giving a shit about money and country, we'd solve all the problems we cause by money and country. We should just print so much money that money becomes meaningless, borders pointless. Peace would be what we barter, love would be our brand. We'd wash our brains of the brainwash that greed is good and man is evil, because man is good and greed is evil. No prophet in our history taught that profit is our destiny, because the algorithm that frees our soul is a simple formula. Love one another as I have loved you. Parsimonious, harmonious, there's no harm in this. What triggers our suffering may be real things, real loss, but ultimately it's within our minds that we hurt and heal. It took the loving challenge of another for me to truly understand this, to remind me that although it was beautiful to stay connected to my deceased wife, that I was connecting to her only in grief, and that I deserved to connect to her instead in joy, to live on rather than just die off, to live within a heart set that doesn't function worse because I'm without her, but better because once I was with her. Thinking about our demise is dark, but when we do, we shed light. We can see our frailty and that we don't have an eternity. We realize that if we were all immortal, nothing would matter. So we do what we can do to endure the tragedies, move past the mundane, enjoy the ecstatic, and be grateful for everything else in the in-between, even when we call it suffering. The day after she lost him, it rained. She could not have suffered the loss otherwise. Her sullen core and heavy limbs were too cold to be contrasted by the sun's heat. The wet gray morning acclimated her for the months of dark sorrow that would lie ahead. So when she made it through her journey of morose, a broader calling for her arose, for he was in memory living with her now, and his life and death became the beautifully tragic how her life's purpose would manifest now. Thank you.
Thank you.